Hello, I'm Jeffrey Sachs. I want to thank you for calling for peace and speaking out against the warmongers of Europe. Your Chancellor Merz, Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom, President Macron of France, the three warmongers that put Europe and indeed the world in great danger. Peace in Ukraine is possible now. And to understand how to make peace, we need to understand where this war came from. The war started 11 years ago when the United States backed a violent coup to overthrow the Ukrainian government of President Viktor Yanukovych. Why did the United States engage in a violent coup? Because Viktor Yanukovych wanted neutrality for Ukraine, but the United States wanted NATO enlargement, and not only to Ukraine, but all the way to the Caucasus, Georgia. Why? Why did the United States want NATO enlargement? Because the United States wanted to dominate Russia. The United States wants global hegemony. It wants its militaries everywhere. And so it wanted to push NATO enlargement all the way to Ukraine and Georgia over the vociferous red lines of Russia. Why? Well, in February 1990, both Germany and the United States promised to Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev that NATO would not move 1 inch eastward. And then NATO cheated. Germany cheated. The United States cheated because they wanted domination over Russia. After the coup, the war began, and a peace treaty was negotiated in 2015, the Minsk II agreement. Germany and France were to be the guarantors of this peace agreement. It was based on autonomy for eastern Ukraine, the ethnically Russian part of Ukraine. What did the United States and Germany do? They ignored the treaty. They told Ukraine, you don't have to implement autonomy. We back you up. Unfortunately, former Chancellor Merkel even confirmed this, that they did not take the Minsk II agreement seriously. In March and April 2022, when the war escalated with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, negotiations almost immediately ended the war. But what did the United States do? It told Ukraine, do not accept neutrality, fight on. And Germany supported that. France supported that. The UK supported that. All warmongers. And so the war has continued, and well over 1 million Ukrainians have been killed or seriously wounded since that time. The Ukraine war can end now based on neutrality of Ukraine. Just say it. Neutrality. Not NATO, but neutrality. Instead, your chancellor and the other warmongers of Europe are saying, fight on, even prepare for European war. This is madness. What we need is diplomacy. Diplomacy where Europe and Russia sit down and undertake collective security, recognizing that Russia does not want NATO or NATO troops on its border, and Russia recognizing that Europe does not want Russian troops in Ukraine. Ukraine should be neutral. And yes, there will be some territorial changes, but don't let Chancellor Merz or anyone else say, Borders are inviolable. Germany recognized Kosovo, which NATO created by bombing Serbia for 78 straight days in 1999. Don't talk about inviolability of borders. It's a little bit late. Germany should have done its job and enforced the Minsk II agreement. In short, ladies and gentlemen, peace can come now. Historical knowledge is the key. This war was provoked by the United States' desire for hegemony. This war was provoked by the United States' desire to weaken Russia and to surround Russia. And Germany has played along at every step. And now you have a warmonger chancellor who, together with the warmongers in France and UK, seem to be calling for further escalation and endless war. You and I call for peace through diplomacy. It can be achieved now. Thanks to you, we're taking a major advance in achieving peace through mutual understanding and collective security. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you so much for your service to the whole world in the cause of peace.